You know the itch I am talking about. 3 in the morning. You are not sleeping. You have not slept in 2 nights. Your forearm looks like someone dragged a hot wire across it, and your body will not let you think about anything else. You already tried the calamine. You already tried the hydrocortisone. You are lying in bed with your arm on top of the sheet because even cotton touching it makes it worse. That is poison ivy. And if you have lived in the eastern half of this country for any length of time, you have been right where I just described. 85% of Americans are allergic to the oil in that plant. 85. That means almost everyone you know. My name is Silas Combs. I have lived in Harlan County, Kentucky my whole life. I am going to tell you about a plant today that most people have walked past 1,000 times and never looked at. It grows in every wet ditch, every creek bank, every shaded edge of every woods in Appalachia and most of the eastern United States. And here's what will stop you in your tracks. It grows right next to poison ivy. Almost every time. The cure is 10 feet from the thing that caused the problem. The plant is called jewelweed. Some folks call it touch-me-not because the seed pods explode when you brush them in autumn. The botanical name is Impatiens capensis if you want to look it up. But around here people just call it the poison ivy plant. Not because it causes poison ivy, because it fixes it. Papaw showed me this when I was 8 years old. I had gotten into a patch of ivy down by the creek and my arms were on fire. He did not take me to the house. He walked me about 20 steps to where the jewelweed was growing in a wet spot along the bank. He pulled a handful of stems, crushed them between his palms until the juice ran out, and rubbed it on my arms. The itch started fading before we got back to the porch. I did not understand it then. I understand it now. The Cherokee knew about this plant. The Potawatomi knew about it. The Chippewa, the Meskwaki, the Omaha. Every people who lived in these woods and dealt with poison ivy arrived at the same answer. Crush the jewelweed. Rub it on. The itch stops. Now here's what the science says. Researchers brushed poison ivy directly onto volunteers' forearms and then treated the exposed skin with different things. Water, soap, jewelweed extract from a bottle, and fresh crushed jewelweed mash. The fresh mash worked. Not maybe, not sometimes. The study confirmed with 95% confidence that fresh jewelweed mash reduces the development of poison ivy rash. But here's the part I want you to hear. The bottled extract did not work. The companies that put jewelweed in a jar and sell it to you for $12 stripped out whatever makes it effective. The fresh plant works. The product does not. The old way was the right way. Papaw did not know the word saponin, but that is what is in the jewelweed stem. Saponins are natural soap compounds. When you crush the stem and rub the juice on skin that has touched poison ivy, the saponins break down the urushiol oil before it bonds to your skin cells. That is the whole trick. Urushiol is the oil that causes the rash. If you can get it off your skin before it bonds, which takes roughly 15 to 30 minutes after contact, you will not get a rash. Jewelweed does that for free, standing right there in the ditch where you got into the ivy in the first place. Let me tell you how to find it so you never walk past it again. Jewelweed stands 2 to 5 feet tall. The stems are translucent. If you snap one, it is hollow and full of clear juice. The leaves are round and soft with scalloped edges. When morning dew sits on the leaves, the water beads up like mercury and catches the light. That is where the name comes from, jewelweed. The water on the leaves looks like jewels. In summer, it has small trumpet-shaped flowers, bright orange with red spots inside, hanging down like little lanterns. You cannot miss them once you know what you are looking at. It grows in wet shade, creek banks, ditch edges, the low side of a hillside where water collects, the edges of swampy ground. And it grows next to poison ivy because they like the same conditions. Partial shade, moist soil, disturbed ground along paths and fence lines. That is not a coincidence. That is the woods taking care of its own. Here's how you use it. If you are out walking and you brush against poison ivy, or you think you did, look around. Jewelweed is almost certainly within sight. Pull a few stems. Crush them in your hands until the juice flows. It will be clear and slightly slippery. Rub it directly on the skin that touched the ivy. Do it within 15 minutes if you can. The sooner the better. That is it. If you are already home and the rash has started, you can still get relief. Go pick jewelweed, crush it, and apply the mash directly to the rash. It will not erase a rash that has already set in, but it will take down the itch and the swelling faster than calamine. May freezes jewelweed juice in ice cube trays every July. She picks a grocery bag full of stems, runs them through the blender with a little water, strains the pulp out, and pours the juice into ice cube trays. When someone in this family gets into poison ivy in August or September, after the fresh plants have started to die back, she pulls a cube out of the freezer, wraps it in a cloth, and rubs it on the rash. The cold takes the itch down. The jewelweed takes the inflammation down. Papaw did not have a freezer. He just knew where the plant grew and walked to it. Either way works. The cost of a bottle of calamine lotion is $5 to $8. Hydrocortisone cream is another $5 to $10. Tech New Wash, the one they sell specifically for poison ivy, runs $12 to $15 a bottle. If you get it bad enough to see a doctor, add another 100 or more for the visit and the prescription. Jewelweed costs nothing. You do not buy it, you do not order it, you walk to the creek and pick it. And the study says it works better than the bottled version of itself. I want to be clear about something. If your rash covers a large area of your body, or it is on your face or near your eyes, or it is blistering badly and spreading, go see a doctor. That is not the time for a plant. Some people react severely to poison ivy and they need medical treatment. This is traditional knowledge, not medical advice. But for the rash on your forearm, the itch on your ankle, the patch on your wrist that you got clearing brush this weekend, Jewelweed has been handling that in these mountains for longer than there have been drugstores. The cure grows next to the problem. You just have to know what you are looking at. Papa knew. Now you do too. Tell me in the comments if you have seen jewelweed growing near you. If you have a poison ivy story, I want to hear it. Everybody has one. Subscribe if you want more. New video every few days. None of it will cost you much. I'll see you down the road.